What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome aboard to Trading Live with Bubba. And, well, not much going on. There was a little bit of excitement a few minutes ago. Amazon came out with their early sales, down 14% from a year ago. You saw the NASDAQ sell off. Actually was a potential buying opportunity if we were together, but we weren't, so we can't count it as a trade. But I think the biggest thing to watch here is just the lack of overall activity, the lack of volume. I would call this rally a retail traders rally, which is typical because we expect markets are predisposed to go higher based on history. It doesn't mean we don't get sells, as you've seen. But overall, the markets continue to, grind higher. And when it's only retail, typically retail is only buyers to begin with. So we do have a little bit of a rally coming now after a fairly solid sell-off, almost 100 points in the NASDAQ from top to bottom. Again, we did miss the potential opportunity to trade, but we'll see if we can find something else to trade. But overall, volume is very light, very thin, not very exciting. So, but we will be here and try. And sorry I missed last week, but as you can see, I got a little bandage on my eye and a little surgery. Back to normal, except the Band-Aids in the black eye, but it'll all be good. And let's just see if we're going to maybe get something here. But it is very, very quiet from a trading standpoint. Certainly, you don't want to force yourself into markets like this, and you have to wait. You have to be patient. And a lot of times, if you listen to my updates every morning, I would prefer you not trade at all right now. That would be that. If I were coaching you, that would be what I would tell you to do. Okay. The only thing really to do is maybe sell some premium if that's your thing. But there's so little action in the market. So the real reality comes back to we've created with my morning group that I trade every day, we're hitting about 90%, but we're not making enough money for the risk we have to take to get there. I'd rather make 70% and have wild activity. I'd make more money. Okay. That's something that you have to remember is the opportunities that arise. Okay. Again, trying to sweat out and grind out, $30, $40, $50 at a time versus having a chance to get $200, $300 at a time is a big difference. So you'd rather have more opportunity. And to me, these are always times that when I was on the trading floor that I'd be on the golf course, because again, I'd rather not participate than put myself into some relatively bad positions. I think that's important to understand about trading. Markets are open 241 days a year. So it's not like you're not going to get an opportunity. It's just there's a lot of days that aren't tradable, especially in the current conditions of the market we have right now. Even gold, which has been headed straight south today, hasn't given you an opportunity to be a buyer, and it's still going down, which is fine. I mean, we certainly don't want to buy a market that doesn't show us a reason. So now we're looking for more likely for a position to sell, but we have no trades right now on a short-term basis. Okay, there is nothing here that is coming up to show. Just take a look at. Here's one I did buy this morning myself. NNE. I actually put a risk reversal on it, which I bought the calls for the 18th. I sold the at the money puts for the 18th, and I bought some puts below to cover the margin. So I'm actually long this, but Apple again reached a level. I don't think there's much to do here. Okay, so I would be doing nothing with Apple. Amazon was a sale yesterday or this morning. There's really not much to do here. Again, it's already come down quite a bit. And again, I gave you the news. So would this be a sell the news? Right. So I don't see much in here. Coin going sideways, really not a lot of activity here. Let's just flip back and see, make sure we're not going to miss anything here. No, not really. Crowd, again, a very tough pattern to trade. It's just grinding higher. Listen, it's great to look to be a buyer. It looks like it's breaking out. It made, if you're familiar with the term cup and handle, there's the cup, here's the handle, and then here's the breakout. So again, that's a very bullish pattern. Meta, again, really nothing to do. Google, nothing to do. IWM, you could look at selling IWM if you felt like it's up pretty good today. You could sell some spreads there for either today, tomorrow, or Thursday or Friday. Again, the nice thing about the daily stuff is you can do them on a daily basis. I don't think there's going to be enough premium, though, for me to want to get involved. Let's just take a peek real quick. Let's see, 222. Yeah, there's not enough for today on premium. Let's see about for tomorrow, if it looks better for tomorrow. I can't get what I want. I want to get 40 cents per dollar. I want 40%, and I don't see that. I want to sell the 222, 223. Right now, I can only get about 36 cents. I'd rather just pass. Okay. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I see is a true lack of overall opportunity. Let's just go back and see if anything is going on here. And you can see there's no volume, so there's no reason for us to get overly involved. Again, there's times you just got to be patient. You just can't. Just because you want to trade doesn't mean that there's trades to make. Okay. Let's go back to here and look at Microsoft. Microsoft, it was overbought, relieved. Looks like 500 is pretty solid resistance. Not much to do here. MSTR. This is one to look at, and it is now actually tradable for us. The volatility has come way in, so that's good. It's only in the, let's see where it's at now. The volatility is in the 50s, which is fine. Let's see here. If you wanted to sell for this Friday, they're not going to fill that. That would be silly. Hold on. Oh, yeah, 400, 402.50. If you can get a buck for the 400, 402.50, it'd be something I would look at. Okay. That's 40 cents per dollar. Nugget, probably an opportunity to sell some put spreads here. Very oversold. Okay. Once again, I'm not all that hyped up of doing anything right in here. NVIDIA, you might want to sell some call spreads in here. That would be something to look at. Again, you can see that overall, I'm not overly excited about doing much. You could look at selling some call spreads in the Qs, SMCI. Again, it's so narrowly traded right now. I'd be more on the sidelines. The Square would be one you might want to look at as a sale. Just go back and see if anything's happening in here. See, we're looking at spots to sell, but we have no reason to sell. We have no volume to sell. So once again, I go, why should I get involved? That's one of the things you just always want to remember is, can you make real money in a market that is trading at such a slow pace? Okay. Now, certainly gold could become an opportunity, which we'll watch here for a minute. We want the volume to get up to somewhere around here. And we still have a little bit of time, so maybe this will be a trade we can make. Okay, so that is going to probably get there. I'm going to assume it's going to get there. We have plenty of time. So now we're going to flip to our 1 minute. Okay. Right now, a stop in gold, if we do get a trade, would be 32.92. If we don't have a trade yet. We have not had a trigger to get the trade yet, but if we do get one right now, the stop would be 32.92. And I would say that probably, well, there's going to be no trade on this bar, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Still heading lower. Did not turn green. It did not give us an opportunity. So at the end of the day, we're not going to trade it. We're not going to force trades in here. We're going to continue to do what we do. I think that's one of the biggest things you got to realize. New stop would be 32.91. If we do get a trade, we still have no trade, but this is the action we're looking for. You're getting some relatively good speed, and there's the volume we're looking for. Okay, so that is something that certainly is worth looking at, but we still have to wait. We have to wait for the trigger. $32.90 would be the stop now. Actually, $32.89 would be the stop right now. And now we have to be careful with how much. We don't want to get filled on this bar because we won't make this trade in this bar. Too much blowback, too much risk. Unfortunately, we don't have to. It's not a trade. Let's see if anything's happening anywhere else where we're waiting. No, not really. So we go back. 32.89 is the stop. We still don't have a trade yet, though. Nothing is triggered. I would say 32.98 would be an entry we'd want to get in there or above. That would signal it's going to be a trade, but I don't see that happening here. I think we made for another bar to go by. I feel like I'm in La Crosse, Wisconsin, going bar to bar. Okay. This should be the potential trigger. We'll see. It was very questionable right here. But here, this would be with a stop at 32.89. And then you put your orders in $1 higher, $2 higher, and then we'll go to break even stop if those fill. And this will be a trade if you want to make it. The risk is a little steeper than I would like to make it, but certainly it is certainly tradable there. And you have orders working above now. My stops in. Okay. And it's profitable at the moment. Certainly, hopefully we'll trigger one here and get our stop to break even. Okay, you should be out of one. You can go to break even on your stop now. Okay, with a profit. Okay, that's how we roll. So now you're out. You should be out of one and have a break even stop on the balance. Now you should be probably stopped out on all with a small profit. Okay, and we're on to the next potential trade if one shows up. But we have nothing in here. Again, yes, they're spiking higher, but there's no volume to go with it. There's no speed to go with it. So why would I want to get involved? Okay. And see what happens here. But usually, like I said, you should be out with a profit. I hope that's the case. If you're singing along, if you're playing along, that's great. And right now we have nothing else to trade. Just got to continue to watch. We can go finish up our stock. So while we're waiting for the next trigger, potentially. SPY, again, potentially sell call spreads. Tesla could have sold some call spreads earlier, but again, nothing is worried. Win is definitely a sale. You want to make it. Again, one of the problems we're having is getting enough premium to make these trades. But again, this parabolic move is there's going to be some regression, some retracement to the mean. And Zoom, just kind of hovering around the 200-day moving average. So just not a lot to really do right in here. This is what you want to be careful of getting yourself too overly invested in a market that isn't moving very much, and then suddenly get a big move, bang, the wrong way. Again, I warn you that these are things to learn about trading. Is that not always is it a great time to trade? Our gold trade would have worked better if we didn't get stopped. But again, I don't worry about that. I'm on to the next trade already. I think that's something you just have to remember. Whatever happened, now you're on to the next. But the tougher the conditions, the more you have to be defensive with your money. Okay. The tougher the market conditions, the more defensive you have to be with your capital. Okay. So we'll see here. I don't see much else showing, but we'll stick around. We got a couple of minutes to go, and maybe we'll get something here at the last minute. So again, very little volume, so it makes it much more of a challenge. The speed of the market at which we're moving is very slow. Certainly, you'd love to be able to a seller of the Russell, but again, there's no volume, so I have no reason to believe that this rally is going to fail here because there was no speed to the rally in the first place, which means there was no emotion, there was no panic, there was nothing. All you're seeing is just a market normally trade with very little activity in it. So there'd be no reason for me to want to get too aggressive in here as we watch. And I think that's something you have to learn. It's just there's times to sit back and be patient, and this happens to be one of them. Okay. Unfortunately, it's been this way for quite a while, but again, it's better to have your capital in your account and ready to go versus pissing it away into conditions that are ridiculously hard. And I don't think we're going to get a trade in our last minute, but we'll see. We'll watch it. So the bottom line is I would be a seller of spreads if I could get what I wanted to get, either daily or weekly. But also my overall recommendation is it's easier to sit it out and observe and wait for action. And if you miss a day, so what? Again, if one trade is going to make a difference in your life, that's not what we're looking at. We're looking for consistency and the ability to make money and be a part of this. And right now, I don't see the true opportunity for me to make any real money to get involved here. So why should I? That's the way I see it, everybody. Have a great day. We'll see you back here Thursday. And remember, I do an update every morning, pre-market, so you can check out what I'm thinking ahead of time. And have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.